Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today is budget review 31. Seriously can't believe that I've done 31 of these. So if you've been here from the beginning, thank you so much for going through 31 weeks of budget reviewing with me. So, for those of you who are new or are still curious about this planner, I chose the Hemlock and Oak 2023 Daily Planner for my budget planner for this year, and this was hands down the best decision that I've ever made. I love this planner. It's extremely well built. He is dirty, but I mean, it's because I'm eating cookies and drinking coffee when I'm doing my budgeting in the morning. But, I mean, if you want to see this thing when it's crisp and clean and straight out of the box, check out my original unboxing video, which I will provide a link for. But, I mean, guys, this thing is absolutely gorgeous, and I seriously can't believe that they made it out of sustainable and recycled materials. So, I seriously recommend giving Hemlock and Oak a try. I will leave a link down in the description to, I want to say it's like 10 or 15% off if you do decide that you like their things. They do have free printables as well, you know, since we're on a budget review video here. If you're working with your budget, they do have those free printables that you can definitely print out and make your own for free to stay within budget. But let's go ahead and get let's go ahead and get into this thing, guys. So what they do is they give you this 2 years at a glance. I use this for my projected payoff dates. Again, I have no idea why I did them in pink. It was just the color of the day, I guess. But it does give me like a light at the end of the tunnel that hopefully by November 2024, if I stay true to my path, all of this will be just a nightmare from the past. So, like I said, like these are the projected payoff dates. I was just going to leave it at that, but I decided to do like highlighting the weeks that I was paying off each account, which I'm actually really glad that I did, just because it's really motivational. Like, it's one thing when you're paying off the card week by week and you're doing the extra payment, but to look back at it and be like, oh yeah, you know, that's whenever I was working on this, and okay, so I got this one done. Like I said, Best Buy was just a fluke. I'm not even quite sure how that happened, but I just got tired of it, and it was like, okay, you're getting paid off. I'm done looking at you. Um, Capital Platinum, that was a very tough one. I look back at it now and I laugh because it's like it shouldn't have been that tough, but it was. Um, but I mean, I think the moral of the story with this page is that yes, whenever you're paying it off, it seems like it's never going to end, but I'm seeing that there is an end date for each of these accounts that I paid off. So, um, like like with this card, in one way I'm like, oh God, it's never going to get paid off, and then another way I can look at these ones and say, well, I thought the same for each of these accounts. So it is possible. It just takes time. What I did is, since Tetris is the game, since Discover is a much larger account than what these guys were, it is going to take longer for me to pay it off. So I did create a Tetris chart for it, and I'm not quite sure why it took me this long to like realize this, but something happened yesterday in my mind where I just kind of looked at this and I was like, damn, dude, you know, like, yeah, for those of us who only pay the minimum or like a set amount each month where we're like, okay, that's good enough. Um, the orange blocks, okay, was the standard payment. Granted, it's only like $30 is what my minimum was, but I did raise it to 100, just because, you know, the 0%. I was like, okay, well, that's good enough. That's going to help me through. Something clicked in my brain, like I said yesterday, of where I looked at this and I saw, you know, how many orange blocks I have compared to the yellow blocks. And I was like, oh my God. Like, if I would have kept only paying the 100 instead of putting on the extra, which is the set amount that I have for each Sunday, which is just $50, okay? It's nothing major, but it was like, okay, I can definitely put $50 every Sunday towards this thing, plus this. So, like, I started looking at it and I'm like, damn, like that's a lot of yellow. So those little payments, those little extra payments do add up, because I would still be down here if it was just for the oranges. What I was planning on paying, which I thought was enough. Um, this is the actual visual that I needed to know that yes, it is worth it to keep putting on those mini payments. I wish that there was more bonus payments, but life has not given me the opportunity to do more of those. I wish I could, but I mean, I am feeling a little bit more better about my strategy here. Just seeing how much the extras that I'm giving towards it, that they are making a difference on getting this thing paid off. Um, so I mean, it probably would have took like 20 years if I was just paying that. And I mean, even like I said, that's extra in itself. It was only 30. I'm paying $70 extra with the standard 100. So I mean, guys, the little payments do add up. We are actually starting to visually see that. So that put me in a good mood. Um, okay, so Hemlock and Oak gives you a 1 year at a glance. I call it the dashboard. But again, this was another page of where I was like, what am I going to do with this when I was setting this up? And I mean, I love this page. This page gives me like a real quick glance at what's happened during the year, the accomplishments that I've made, because I do mark off if I did pay the account. Um, so, like, yeah, these would be my focus accounts. I call them like the accounts that I'm attacking at the time because I am doing the snowball. But, like, at first, like, when I looked at this page, I was like, oh God, because it was like the Doom page, because, you have your focus accounts marked. God, what else do I got on here? Holidays are in purple, birthdays are in blue, large amounts of money's in yellow, of course, taxes, pesky vehicle expenses that everybody forgets about, so I mean, I got them all marked down, and like I said, at first, like, you're looking at this page going, oh crap, this is all the stuff that I gotta pay or owe or save up for. And I mean, the more I'm looking at this page as the year goes on, it's showing me all of the stuff that I made it through. So I mean, I don't know, I'm like having an epiphany this week. Okay, so we're moving on. They gave me an important page, and the only thing I can think of that was important when you're budgeting is, knowing how much debt you need to pay off, because you really don't know where the finish line is if you don't know the distance that you need to go. So, making this page sucked. It really made me very angry, because if you would have asked me, I would have thought like maybe 13, 14,000. Um, I was pretty disgusted with myself whenever I added it up and it came out to over $20,000. That's where I was like, okay, dude, we gotta get serious with this. This is way out of control. It's unexcusable. there's there's no reason for this. So yeah, I did add them up. They are technically in snowball order. It would have been these guys right here. These are my 0%. So Best Buy, City, and Discover were 0% offers. That's why they're out of place with the Capital, because he would have been next technically. But to me, you get these things paid off before the 0% ends. And like I said, I mean, I'm trucking right along, guys. I'm already halfway through level 2 at the end of July. Another thing that I started doing is I started writing down the total that I paid off each month. It does help fill in the detritus, since it is a very weird number for the puzzle pieces. I mean, it's an approximation just because, again, it's not a, even number. Um, but this has also become insightful because at first, like, yeah, I'm paying off 1,000. I mean, even 1,600 for February. I mean, I kicked butt in February. Tiny little month, but apparently I paid more. I have no idea how this happens. But another thing that I noticed is my amount that I pay off each month started going down. And the only thing that I could find that correlates with that is that I started using the credit cards again in March, towards the end of it, where in January and February I was strictly no cards. So what I'm thinking is with me using the cards, of course I'm trying to compensate for what I charged for that month, and that would be about the amount that I would have paid off of the debt. So again, this is another visual. I know it's not like as visual as the detriment chart, but this got me thinking of like, hey, um, like in one way I'm like, yeah, I'm charging it. Like, yeah, I'll spend like $2 at McDonald's, put it on the charge card, and then I'll pay it off, either that day or at the latest a Sunday. So to me, I was spending that money, but I wasn't spending that money because it was like, oh, you're just going to pay it off anyway, so it's going to cancel out. Apparently, we do spend more if we're using the charge card than we are with cash or a debit card. So, I mean, that is true. This right here just proved that to me. And so we are on the whole no card challenge again. Now, like I said before, life does throw you curveballs. There are some times where it's like you got to do it even though you don't want to do it. So we're gonna see in the actual daily, weekly review here of what happened. Okay, so this is my monthly view. I'm just gonna start with August, just because we are in August. Um, I took all my bill due dates. Everything that's in green is a mandatory. That is when that bill is due. I don't get to choose when I pay it. I don't get to choose how much I pay. That is the bill, that is the due date, that is the amount. So I do keep those on here because it helps me know, like, we'll use this payday here, which is the 11th. So everything from here to here needs to be covered with this pay. If for some reason these are more than what I would receive in net pay, then I know I need to keep some from, it would have been the 28th. I would need to keep some funds from this pay to cover these. So this has helped me. I've been doing this for, a couple of years now. So this is probably the most important part here because for some reason everybody wants to budget by month. If you do get paid bi-weekly, it just doesn't work because some months you have 3 paydays, sometimes you have 2 paydays. I'm fortunate because my pays are the same every time I get paid, where I do know from previous jobs that I've had, those things can fluctuate. So that's just like one extra step to this process of where you got to really think and plan ahead so that you do have enough funds to cover the upcoming bills. So that's really what I'm going to say about this. Anything that's in yellow is an extra. It's an optional. This is my daily savings goals. $5 a day. Got 31 days. That gives me 155. I just split it up into 75 and 80. So that automatically comes out on the paydays. So those are in yellow. Of course, I have my no cards challenge. Like I said at first, I mean, I was kicking butt. January was all of them. February was all of them. I almost made it 90 days and I slipped. So March is when I started slipping. As you can see, April was very rocky. May, I started getting a little bit better, but still I was using them pretty heavily. June, same thing. Like, for the most part, I'm good, but man, there's just some days that, like, I had to use it. So, for August, my main goal is to try to get back into where I was in January and February, and we're doing that with a weekly challenge now. So instead of looking at it as the whole month, I'm just going week by week now. And that really does seem to help with my motivation. I had a tanning for the summer package. Yes, it was on the charge card again. Like I told you, I was pretty naughty there in, April and May. That's whenever I would have purchased it. So I did put the final payment on that thing, so it is done. Okay, Lowe's. Okay, at the end of July, my hot water tank went. So even though I'm trying my damnedest to pay off Discover and putting everything that I got towards it, now I have to pay off this tank. It is 0% for 6 months, but again, the only way that 0% works in your favor is if you do pay it off before that happens. The best thing would be to have your savings and to buy it with your savings instead of having to worry about this stupid 0% thing. But that was not an option, so I mean, at least I had the 0%. But now I got to pay this thing off, which I chose Saturdays. So Saturdays are Lowe's, Sundays are the Focus account, so we're still on Discover. So that's what all of these little yellow marks are for. And the last time I would have seen yins would have been the last day of July. So like I said, I finished up, I got all the payments caught up. Any charges that I made for July would have been taken care of, they would have been covered, which just really disgusted me. Like I said, like I was doing small ones, so it's like $2 here, $5 there, $10 there. Doesn't sound like much until I totaled it up, because like I said, I wanted to pay it off before the end of July. It was $195. So yeah, see, that's that $100 to $200 that we saw earlier when I told you that I was paying off the cards $100 or $200 more in January and February, where in these later months I haven't had those funds. So I'm wondering if it's this. So that's what started the whole, going back to the not using the cards. I did take off work on Monday. Apparently leaving the house is when I spend money. So since I took off work, I didn't go anywhere, so I just stayed home, which meant that I did not spend. And I do a end of the month quick review. I just basically add up like what did I make for the month, so that's my income, how much did I put towards savings, how much did I spend in total, and how much did I pay off, because that gives me the number for the beginning of this book. So that finishes July for us, and so now that gets me into Tuesday, which was August 1st. Like I said, I am doing a weekly no spend challenge now with myself. When I'm saying no spend, it's not that I'm not spending at all. It's that I'm not buying stuff that I don't need. So this is like necessities like gasoline, groceries. If I notice that my blood sugar is going down at work and I really, really need to get something into me, like those type of things that I'm not just going out to buy because I feel the need to buy. So that's what I consider a no spend. Mainly it's a not using the cards as well. So that's the big one for me, is not spending the credit card. So technically you can make a no spend challenge. You can warp it into whatever fits your budget goal. It doesn't have to be that, you don't spend anything, because I mean, I don't know about you, but I've tried those type of no spend challenges and it's like nearly impossible. So I mean, I adjust this to what I know that I'm capable of doing. But yeah, no, Tuesday went back to work. I do pay my rent with my emergency funds. I call my rent funds emergency funds. The account is the emergency funds, but anytime that I get like large amounts of money, which would have been that insurance funds that you saw back in June, I just throw those in there, and I really just cover my rent payments with those. It really does help with paying this other stuff per month, because I really don't have to worry about it. Of course, the insurance came out, paid off the tanning, so he's done. And this is the second mystery check that I got. Apparently, the University of Phoenix lied to people. Yeah, we kind of knew that going in. But every now and then, lawyers send me a check for like $30. So this is the second one. Really wish they would reimburse the whole degree. Um, that's not gonna happen. So, yeah, no. And then, of course, I had my trip to Sheets. So, like I said, I know it's a no spend, but I did use my debit card, and it is something that I need. So, it's a need, not a want. So, that's how I got the tick off on Tuesday. Wednesday was another good day. What I'm noticing is, hello, Mr. Burt. How are you? Yes, everybody misses your butt. Okay, so let's try to review around Bert's butt. So I started thinking about it like whenever I used my card at Sheets. Hold on, guys, he's trying to eat the microphone again. But yeah, no, it felt weird using the debit card because again, I've been using the credit card. I gotta get him. And the thing that I noticed is, I love you, big guy. The thing that I noticed is what would have been like the biggest difference is when I'm using the credit card, I could use that tap and pay. Okay, the thing that has like the little Wi-Fi signal on your card. I would just hold that up to it, the sale would be done, and I would go. Where with the debit card, I mean, I could still do tap and pay with it. I don't have to do the chip, but you still have to put in your security code, PIN number, whatever it is. And it's like one extra step in the paying process. And I don't know, like that does something to where, like, oh God, hope I got this in my balance. Where when you're using the credit card and you're just tapping and going, you're not really thinking about how much you just spent. You're just like, well, it'll take care of it and I'll look at it later. So this one does have a little bit more of an awareness. I know that they say that cash is better because you're actually physically looking at the cash, you're handing it over and getting it back. As we saw at the beginning of the summer, my math skills are not the best. Okay, they're not. I spend way more when I'm using cash. I don't know what it is. Something's wrong with me. So the debit card seems to be the better route for me. I don't know why. I think it's because I can look on it and it shows me my balance. But yeah, that's what I thought about there on Wednesday. For Thursday, this was a tough one because it was a crappy day at work. Just people were starting to get on my freaking nerves now. Basically, when you tell somebody not to do something over and over again, and it's a grown man, and he just, I mean, it's getting to the point of where, guys, I don't know if he understands the word no, or if he's just doing it to make me angry now. So, yeah, that was Thursday. And I call it my boom boom voice, but the boom boom voice started coming out. And because I mean, I can't take it no more. I can't take it. So, to me, I had to keep repeating myself, just say no to drive-thrus, just say no to drive-thrus, just say no to drive-thrus, like, because I want to go and, I guess, eat my emotions. Because I'm angry, probably because I'm burning calories because I'm that angry. But hey, I figured the saying worked for the drugs in the 80s, whenever we had just say no to drugs, so just say no to drive-thrus. And so yeah, so because I mean all of my accounts are still linked to the freaking credit card too, so Yes, LOL is an understatement. So, no, I just basically drove around for a good 15-20 minutes, screaming at the top of my lungs, and then I went back. I went back to work. Basically told him to go find another area, not to come towards me again. And, yeah, that's work. That's summer work. So, yes, I waited until I got home. And so, I mean, yes, did I eat a lot when I came home on Thursday? Yes, I did. But it was stuff that I already had in the house, and technically it was free of charge. And I even made that, first initial payment to Lowe's. So now I got a nice even number. So good things happen to the budget on a bad day. So, there is hope. Um, well, here we go. Friday gets even better. Um, this is a mess full of stress. Yes, it is. So, of course, since this person couldn't follow directives on Thursday, three of us had to come in on Friday for overtime to fix what this person did. Which, I mean, in one way it's nice because it is overtime. In another way, I really don't feel like having 50-hour work weeks. I like this day to relax, to unwind, to spend time with my family, to take naps, to eat cookies. But instead, I had to go to work to fix what this person did. So it starts off, with that mood, uh, you know. But as soon as I pulled in, I went to look at the other guy who's still in his truck, who he just looks like death worn over at this point. At least I'm bouncy and I'm happy and I got some energy because I got some good sleep. But yeah, my motor started sounding like a bag of aluminum cans, and so yeah, apparently in my mind I'm like, yeah, you just blew the motor in your car. Um, but you know what? Whatever. I'm at work and we got overtime, and I'm just gonna go in. I'm gonna focus on work, and I'm gonna figure out what's wrong with the car. Whenever we're done doing what we're doing, which is 8 hours later. Um, so, of course, I'm fortunate. My dad is a mechanic, so I called him on break, told him what was going on. He came over to look at it whenever we were getting off of work. Fortunately, it was just the water pump. I did not blow up the motor, water pump died. And, yeah, so I got to drive it to his house. Um, got to make a trip to Advanced Auto, which again, like I said, I get, nice discounts because of my family being mechanics. So it only cost me $80. The part that made me angry is knowing the bills that I have due and coming up at this time. I had to bring out the freaking credit card, guys. I do need the fan belt. I needed, okay, the fan, and the belt. I needed those things because I need the car to go to work to make money to do this. So, yeah, it had to get charged. Another thing that happened that morning, which I'm guessing it is the stress from this, is, I mean, I do get these Amazon points at the end of the month. I do the Amazon receipts thing. I found a really cool scale. It's a digital scale. It has an electronic tape to it, and like it would have been great because I'm trying to lose all this extra weight from last year still. And I used like $20 of my points and only had to me this was a deal because it was originally $41.99. Um yeah, okay, so the car dies. Like I said, I gotta go out, I gotta charge these, to get these parts, to get it fixed. I was lucky he at least took me to Sheets and Giant Eagle to get my groceries, because who God knows how long he says it's gonna be a day, but we don't know. I might not have a car until like Monday or Tuesday. I did buy him lunch, lunch, dinner, whatever you want to call it, because I mean, I still didn't eat for the day, so yes, we took a quick trip to McD's. Um, but yeah, no, I get home. Somehow or another, Amazon got this thing to me. This was like record shipping. I opened it up, guys. Um, I only received half. Okay, first off, I only received half of the items. I got the scale, didn't get the tape. Um, it says it included batteries. The batteries weren't there. The more I'm looking at the objects in this box, the more I'm realizing it's used. It doesn't have the wrapping. Uh, the little baggie in there where the tape measure would have been is in there, but it's empty. Like I said, the batteries aren't there. The scale's not wrapped. So I'm like, God, man. Okay, so now I got to worry about returning this thing. Um, just because, like, once I got it, I looked at it and I was like, no, this isn't worth it. So that's going to be today. I get to worry about taking that thing to Kohl's and returning it. So, in one way, I technically don't have a charge of $25.95 because I'm about to get all of that back. Because that was not a good buy. Okay, so then we get to yesterday. See, we're almost done, guys. We're almost done. Um, okay, so again, I will not use the card. I will not use the card. I will not use the card because I'm a little bit upset about needing to use it on Friday. So yeah, no, with it being so stressful, I am an emotional spender. And I mean, I just want to buy everything. It's not even stuff that I need, not even stuff that I want. I just want to go into the store and buy. So, um, I basically, I just kept repeating myself. Spending won't fix a thing. Spending won't make me feel better. Spending's not going to solve any of these problems. Um, the good news is that the Jeep did get fixed. The pump is in, the fan's in, the belt's in, everything's running. So I have a vehicle for $80, which I know a lot of you, when you go to shops, it's like hundreds. So yes, charging that $80 sucked, but at the same time, it could have been worse. So that's the silver lining that I'm trying to keep up with here. So we did that. Had to go to Sheets. Went to Giant Eagle. That was with Bill. I didn't need anything. I did use my gas points at GetGo, so I did get $30 of gas for free. Of course, I went tanning. That's free because I paid it at the first of the month, and had to take rate at Dollar General. Came very close to buying stuff, but again, that's where the mantra comes in that I will not use the card. I will not use the card. Like you gotta basically turn psycho and just keep telling yourself not to do it. I also had like the bills due on that day. Capital Q, that was normal. Capital P, somehow or another, I ended up with $1.30 credit on it. So I really don't owe anything on that. Technically, they owe me. I wish that they would do the 29% interest on my $1.30. That would be fantastic. I would actually, pay my credit cards a lot more if they did that. And of course, the first Lowe's extra for that hot water tank. So that sums up Saturday. Um, that gets us to today. So yes, I am doing my budget review at 6 in the friggin' morning. Did the extra Discover charge or payment. So that's on there. And of course, my very final Afterpay payment for the Vita Authority, that went through. So Sunday's starting off great. And like I said, like after looking at the charts earlier, it's kind of helping me with the not using the cards just because I'm actually starting to visually see like all of this extra payments, like this guy right here. It's actually paying off. It's working. It's just, it's going to take forever just because of the amount. Like, it should never have. I should have never used this thing. I don't even know what I was thinking. I was like, oh, look at the rewards. Oh, look at the points. Like, no, no, piss on those rewards. Piss on those points and whatever it is they try to get you to do. It's not worth it in the end. So, yeah, that's where we're gonna end off. Hope you do enjoy these budget reviews. I know they're not like standard. I know I'm not like, oh, for this month I'm gonna do rent, and for this month I'm gonna do my utilities, and like it's kind of like a mashup. Maybe I have ADHD, I don't know. But for some reason, this setup here, this works for me. This is doable. And I really don't care about the monthly totals that I'm spending per object. I'm more worried about what I'm spending at the end of the month. Am I spending less than what I make? Am I actually putting money towards my savings? Am I paying off my debts? Okay, those are my main focuses. I don't need to know how many gallons of milk I bought for the month. To me, that information is useless and it's irrelevant towards what I'm trying to accomplish. So, with that, I am going to close out here. Again, if you find these reviews helpful, if you find them entertaining, hilarious, anything, uh, any comments, feel free to leave them down below. I do want to say thank you so much for watching, guys. I do greatly appreciate it. This is helping me stay current with my budget. It's helping with my spending. And again, I can't thank you enough for watching these and commenting on them. And if you want to see more of these budget reviews or even my other plan with me's, remember to hit that like and subscribe button to see more.